Oh, welcome to another episode of At Your Disclosure. This is Living Legend, Alex Ruben Tovar, giving you the scoop. And I'll tell you something. There's a lot of things that come out the wrong way. Typical ain't something bad. It just means like how everything is, whether you served or not. Everyone should respect. But it's the expectations where we get it wrong. I expected you to greet me. I expected you to salute me. I expected something out of you. You can't expect anything from someone out of nothing. Respect is sir not gained. So make me look good. I'll make you look even better. That being said, Rio de Dominguez had said that at the BPO meeting in Buckeye in 2015, 2014. I'm trying to remember if it's 2013. I have to recollect all this. It's been a while. Like I said, this memoir is in effect. And generating viewers, supporters for fellow state senator is going to take a large margin of success with the right attitude. So with that being said, we also had Emily Ariado over at Humana Glendale. Assistant administrator for Humana Glendale 91st. They said the same thing too on her email before retiring. I know she has a twin sister there. Her twin sister had same thing with Maria Dominguez. Make me look good. I'll make you look even better. And the army quote of commodity. The leader eats last. So me telling Tom Shiver that might have upset him. I meant that in a good way after Minerva had told him, how important he is. 10-year over at BD in Tempe, Beckman Dickinson. Mr. Shiver deserves to be where he's at. And I'd vouch for him that I feel that he would make a good PSM. Because when you're at a banking center, when you're a protect service manager, you want to send the right person. I think they should fight. I think this person will be effective against certain level of criminality where pinning the opposite is gonna cause, I was gonna say gonna be counterproductive, but that'll be contradicting myself. It's gonna, someone for who they are, so you're gonna figure, okay, this person's gonna be effective at that bank location. So this person was in the Navy and in the Marines. This person was, whatever, armed services, Air Force, depending on MOS, and for the most part, it is arms combatant or law enforcement, if it's either military or law enforcement. But not wanting to make Miss Gonzalez, Maria Dominguez look bad. Just stating the fact that we're no different. When she said it off the back is because of how you look. Yeah, and she addresses her. She had told us she had addressed that she was in the Navy. So when I have to hear where it's like I actually served, it's almost like that's what you did. This is what you're doing now. And without knowing, because I have several socials and going on several covert operations, you don't know what you don't know. And that's what Chatelato used to tell me. Bank supervisor North Scottsdale. There's different regions. There's the East Valley. There's the Southeast Bank Captain, Chris Rodetsky. Then there's Chatelato bank supervisor. And there's a difference. There's bank supervisor, which is just college educated, and then there's bank captains, former veteran. So you could be a custom protection officer. You could be a bank protection officer with well, the bank protection officer is a little different. It's going to take law enforcement and military. But a custom protection officer can require just college education. And yeah, man, can you believe this? During the moving process, missing money. And I'll tell you something. Your military status that you place on your ID is it's optional. That's my wife and I on a wedding. We got married at grandma's up the street from here, from the Palmer residence, also known as Casa de Alex. And I smashed a cake piece on my wife. I regret doing that. I also regret not sleeping with her that night. I mean, I did within the day. I mean, we had sex during the day before the wedding, so I did my part. But to a woman, everything counts. The details, bringing flowers, all that could lead to something better. So, a lot of times you don't want to you want to remain biased. Okay, so if I would include it, military status. If I vote it, I want to vote either party. Remaining biased, they're gonna pay attention to that. So I decided, I don't want to cause too much attention. Oh, is he a narc? There's a lot of things that make a person wonder. And missing money, I added in here. And there's a lot of times here in my house where if I fall asleep anywhere, all of a sudden something has changed, something has altered. I've had woken up to a whole house altered beyond recognition. Where, look at this cute kid. What's going on, that lock on? Oh. Yeah, he was mad at me earlier. He ended up biting me. For no reason. Once in a while, I just get so searched like I could be petting him. Maybe in la mano. To all of a sudden gnawing on me. What's going on, lock on? Everything good in your life? Oh, I can hear him purr. I remember my Theo Fies or Rafael. He would have his girls would normally he dates Jessica's, and they'll be like, oh, that looks real elegant on a man, the wedding band. And my wife and I have been split for about 5 years, and from the looks of it, she doesn't want to get back. And there's a lot of influences, but it's her decision, so I gotta respect it. You can't force someone to love you no matter what. But we've been jumped before, usually for the minor. How can I put this? I'm trying to use technical words, but then we have that kind of what's going on, that kind of. Look at that, precious kid. I shake someone's hand and I lift weights, and tells the world I crushed this freaking hand. You have a problem with someone, you have two choices: either confront the person or just move on. Don't take it so personal. Just, hey, think of what you were doing before freaking any of this. But I felt that Mr. Scheibe was a good pick as a band captain of PSM if you were to choose to switch careers from production lead supervisor at a medical manufacturer division. It's either behind the scenes or front line, and he has a firm body, so I felt that he could be effective in what we do. But it's up to him. Like I said, just like at ASO America, I had Lester, and he had gone up to me once, and he's all like, "That's why I'm your new bank captain, Felicia." I was shipping a package out towards Felicia, Iraq, and just wondered why would he say that so freaking freaking wanting to leave his logistic managerial position at ASO America to work for Bank of America as a bank captain for G4 Secure Solutions before the merger. I felt that you can cause yourself problems, but at the same time too, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with it. But freaking, that's one thing in life is just do it. Even if I felt that by uploading a video where I don't come out looking like I need to be, it's better to just do it while wearing New Balances. Oh man, and like I said, I'm pretty exhausted. This been moving, and yeah, it's there's a lot of things in life people want to do, and I wonder a lot of times, why things are the way they are. Like for instance, at the uh, New Year's Eve party, like I said, things were going good. I'd gone with Aaron and Joaquin Enriquez, Aaron Banner. We had gone over to Santino Cortez's parents' house, and like I said, they served, and the few mentioned didn't. I mean, Fat Camp is not really serving, but the chance to go back, I see why not. But with disabilities, someone's back's hurting or whatever it is, or maybe your one leg's longer than the other or whatever, it's out of your control, so you do what you can. And I was accused of breaking a window. I don't remember breaking no window. But freaking, just years later, having to relocate back to having Santino's mother come over and start jabbing me on my chest. I've always been athletic, and at that time, I was, in real good physical shape. So her driving her fingers on my chest, made me feel like, oh man, there's a tension there, but not thinking it was that serious. I mean, Aaron had fixed it, the broken window, and everything's been confiscated. But you stand out, and people want to get to know you, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm positive about it. Like I said, there's good and bad, but I like to see the good in people. So, if I feel a certain tingle, then for the most part, it was unexpected, but still bringing up something that happened years ago, because we lived in Las Vegas for about close to 3 years. But the way I see it, it's probably just wanting attention. I mean, I'm married. I don't like disrespecting my wife. Like I said, there's consequences. I feel that. I feel that if I were to disrespect my wife, then I wouldn't have gotten to know what it is to be inside, and feels good. I'm human. I'm not perfect. Someone claims to be the Man of Steel and Cape Crusader attire. And it feels so good. That's funny, just thinking of certain situations, certain moments in your past, it makes you happy. That's what you gotta do in life, is make yourself happy, make people around you happy, and if I had to think of a way to solve the world's problems, it's probably just through doing things that are gonna work for you. I don't think sabotaging someone's dream, someone's career, or getting involved in negative is gonna come good. That karma really comes back. That's why I said earlier that doing good it's beneficial for you and the other person, even if you told just one person. You gotta know that you made a difference in a person's life. So with that being said, I can remember the last segment I was talking about misheard, where it's spelled exactly how it's spelled without the echo. So if you gotta stick your head inside a centering oven just to freaking hear the echo of I heard, but one day she had stood up firmly, just like at 6'5" Colonel Scott. So I had this Cuban guy. I knew he was Cuban because of Aldo and his obsession over me. Same thing too with him in the way. I'm freaking like 200 pounds. Close 6 feet. I slouch because Believe it or not, for the longest time, I functioned with few sleep hours. So, action has a reaction. If I stand up straight, someone has a problem. It's the human condition of being envious. But it's unfortunate, and on reality, you have to learn how to coexist. Uh, the way I see it is have good intentions. You don't want to be remembered for something bad, and it's real depressing thinking about death. I think my boy beat up Dizzle, my ass. Just imagine if you're floating above us, and there was a lack of oxygen as a form of torment. Now, one of my nostrils doesn't function that well as the other one, and I had an aunt, my aunt Nydia, she had gone to Mexico to get surgery so that she can so that she is able to breathe properly through one of her nostrils. So they had to cut her nose, and they had to operate. They had operated and closed it back up, and you they did a good job. It's a lot of people that get surgeries in Mexico, South. Uh, there's a lot of people that get work done in Mexico. I mean, like I said, the U.S. dollar is worth a lot more in Mexico, and there's hardworking people in Mexico. I mean, you pay someone you pay someone to do a job that's going to cost you 2-3 times more. Why not go the Mexican way? Uh, Mexicans are known for hardworking, their hardworking ethics, but they're human. You know, they work hard, and just like working hard, they play hard. And it's full of love. It's been known through studies as well as Mojo. And believe it or not, when I had taken a leave of absence from the banks, I had noticed that I'm paid attention to because there's been several bank robberies where they want to know who you work for, they want to know who you're connected with, and having to find out the hard way. That's why I started the Fabs Lincoln Fusion project, because of the fact that because of one person being in the right state of mind and doing what you can to the best of your abilities in Cornell, Robert Brooks. There's help. Reaching out to your superiors at the time before becoming his boss. It's a team effort, and it works out. I was telling my brother and my father when we were in the U-Haul, we were transferring uh, home equipment material, just moving out of that. About that situation. Now, this is important. The situation regarding the man I ended up working with at Humana that was in the freaking way. Just like a quick trip earlier on Thursday before our first Friday today. You see me trying to get through. You can already tell. And you're just going to stand there. So your intentions are to generate attention. Your intentions are bad. I don't have to say anything. You already know. Hey, man, people in and out. That's why it's convenient. I said, excuse me, to let you know, it's like a hoy hoy before reaching the bay, the shore. You're signaling, I'm on my way. You could tell without even saying anything. So big man's passing by. And Big Cat Brooks had done that before. Yeah, bank robbers show up with assault rifles. Just don't hurt anyone. And that's how he got promoted. It's a life-threatening situation. It's to prevent life-threatening situation. The money is insured. And you do what you can, but just know the intentions. That's what it's all about. That's what it comes down to, intentions, either good or bad. So think about things that you're going to do in life, because a reaction has a reaction. Making someone miserable makes you happy. I guess everyone really is different. I don't know what for. I don't get anything out of making someone miserable. Even if they've done me dirty. I've been jumped. I've been poisoned. My own family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, just constantly because of what they believe having a clean record. Come on now. and it's almost like this project's in effect in order to make you realize the damage that the next person did, because it's pathetic. I don't see myself as a normal person where what I hear I believe. I know earlier the start of the show was a little off, but life's hard, life's what you make out of it, but stolen valor should be illegal. Just like misheard freaking standing up straight and noticing those chocolate kisses, because I'll tell you this, man. I love women, and just like thinking of Satia's mother, I start getting wood. I think of my 38 wood handle, my 30th special Smith and Wesson wood handle. And it's funny to me because, I tell you guys all this, I feel like there's an unforeseen force, and this is how they'll get you, whether you're truthful or deceitful. You just can't. I mean, you notice it, and even without telepathy. In the FBI, you learn to recognize the patterns, the nonverbal communication in clusters. So you get an insight of the occurrences, the state of mind of the person where, and even by me saying this, even I could tell the grade. And it's funny because in Scottsdale they'd call me D. I'm thinking for douchebag, but that's just the person's opinion. And the person that labeled me that was this bank teller at 651 on Scottsdale Road that would sell me his truck. It was a early 2000s Chevy Silverado with a front wreck rear end and Sun Devils ASU pitchfork on the back in loving memory. Till he was advised to jack up the prices. Don't want to point fingers. I mean, Mr. Brown, Tyrell, owner of Rail Drip Apparel, is to me, he's amazing, man. I like the guy. Like I said, a lot of things you say you can't discover if it's actual or just words in the wind. But I appreciate Mr. Brown because of the fact that he had my back. We had this white male adult show up, and wearing glasses, bald, all in black, had a backpack hanging out by the ATMs, and you got to consider the fact that the first and the last hours of the bank hours are the most crucial, not just at a bank, anywhere. There's patterns, it's just been proven, and it's throughout the day, but at the same time, too, just like the Nike symbol, just like the swoosh, just do it. That's the day I'm going to do it. It's the anticipation that'll kill you. And that's what Mr. Koofman had told me, when I want to go recall for bank protection officer position. He had noticed, because you laid down a bunch of rounds, total 6. You have your revolver, Smith and Wesson, wood handle, and you have your earmuffs, but you can detect the whistle. And always 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times. Whether shoot from the hip, 2 times. It's the anticipation that'll kill you. So Mr. Koofman had acknowledged the fact that I have too much anticipation, and that's where I am granted telepathy. So how effective would I be in any position if I can know your intentions? I told my uncle playing, let's go play some cards. But humans are so damn cunning, just like concentrics. Another nickname besides D. And I'll tell you the reason they call me D in Scottsdale, because of one of the Bank of America tellers. I call him the absolutely guy because every time I'd go in, take a break over at 6 West on Scottsdale Road, Lincoln, Scottsdale, major crossroads, he'd have some white female adults, some good looking women, like I said, Scottsdale, loving it. Just like Phoenix, lovely. uh, Absolutely. Before going upstairs, man, being in top physical shape is what it's all about. And just like Maria G. Dominguez said, it's how you look. To having Christopher, not Christopher Casper, I know there's a lot of Christophers within the organization. I'm trying to remember his name, Christopher Kelly. He had sent me over to the Penske Museum. There's Maseratis, there's Mercedes, Lamborghinis. Well, the Mercedes Benz actually next to it. I take it back. But there's Ferraris. There's all kinds of exotic vehicles. I'd mentioned Lamborghinis and Maseratis. So it's a car dealership. He had sent me there, and he had instructed me. They want the detective look, but on the email it says BDU pants and polo shirt. So I go in my BPO uniform, just take off my polo shirt and just have a white T-shirt, muscle shirt under, and BPO uniform with my service duty boots. The Gauss tactical uh, service duty boots, if I can recall. So the benefit of the doubt, like Mr. Arroyo would tell us, the benefit of the doubt, because Lewis would always tell us, he's trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, you can lose your employment. And you can, but at the same time, too, it's difficult because you are needed. We've gone out of our way to investigate who you are, just so we can prove to the client that this is who we are sending you. So that's why the $65 an hour plays a key part, just like me over at Concentrics inside the HR department for EP, executive protection, for the HR manager as well as the executives. But during mass termination, I was getting paid $75 an hour. And having one of the big wigs, one of the executives, acknowledge the fact that they charge an arm and a leg, it's we're very petty considering the fact of my experiences. And I know I made their day, believe it or not. There was a lot of situations where it's human nature. You fall in love with the people you're around. I had Elisa Daly ask me for assistance in trying to move a table from one of the offices, and it was just the two of us inside her office on her birthday. To freaking having this HR manager from Concentrics in Texas, when we were shorthanded, disconnect her laptop computer after black male adult named Markel shows up with a shank, a knife. I believe it's about an 8-inch Bucky knife that was about to pull it out on Lisa Daly. So I had gone up immediately, and he acted towards my presence. I got in his face. I ran in there basically because I noticed he was going to pull it out. He hadn't gotten paid in over a month, he claims, and said he took the bus to get there. That he lives on like 100 plus Ave, and Concentrics being in Tempe, which is the streets, like I said, it's a distance and desperation, desperate times, desperate measures. But me standing up to him, opening the door, plunging it, and having Mike, the operation manager, Big Mike, rushing towards him. So we take him outside and escort him off the property, and I tell Allied Barton at the time, don't let him back in. So the lady from Texas all gave me this look like when the executive that was complaining about the arm and the leg of me being there as a CPO to having acquired the assistance of more officers. So they had acquired Apollo. And the lady just looking at me like, just like I had generated 5 extra additional hours because of their satisfaction by Marcy. the senior manager, uh, human resource manager, senior manager over at Concentrics, and I had messaged Steven Barrett, Major Merritt, from bank captain, a major bank captain. That's how I told you, moving on up, and being a bank captain before Mr. Seibel to being his rover, just alongside Justin Chrisman, had had me back in Phoenix. But remembering John Simon saying that over at Circle Center, trying to remember the major crossroad in Las Vegas near the Red Rock Casino, when some lady noticed from truck to Ford, Fusion, and all this correlates. There's a reason why it's called Fusion. There's a reason why it's called Concentric. It's like QE first, just circulating the building, making sure. Because I'll tell you this, why I was doing it. All right, so Royal knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing. He was in the Navy for 20 years. He was an MP. Off the back, he had to tell me, watch out for that rear door facing southbound to major crossroads. Just girl employee goes in through their piggyback, and due to the building pressure, some of the doors weren't closing properly. So just by me circulating the entire building throughout an hour to interchange with Christopher Martin, 19 Kilo, had me doing my job while they fixed the problem. So they were adjusting the building pressure. So we had CBRE technician, I'm trying to remember his name. But, you want everything to work properly. You want to hire the best, and you got the best. So with that in mind, Christopher Martin felt that his time in the service, man, he could just kick back. And he told me off the back, I just didn't want to get lazy. His goal was to work for a water distribution to make good money. He, as well as being an Army tanker, he had also specialized in water purification. That's such a necessity to me. That's probably the most important thing in life. Water is life. That's a given. Without life, without water, there's no life. That's just look what our bodies are what our bodies are made of. I'm trying to use technical words because it sounds more convincing, but like I said, there's a blockage, and fortunately, in all honesty, okay, so our bodies are compromised. Trying to remember. Let's see. Consist mainly of water. Sometimes being practical works as well too. Just like owning an older pony, it's practical, and you know that if you open a radiator cap while the vehicle is it's hot, then it's gonna burn your face. And with that being said, it's probably going on break at the time because I'm getting pretty tired and hungry too. Trying to recollect more evidence of what I need to tell you all before our last days here at the Palmer residence. It's been a joyride, and there's been several episodes that I loaded and I removed because of the simple fact that I smoke on my segments, and I had taken footage of the garage as well as the laundry room, and my sister also is a chain smoker. But it's easy to blame the person smoking. That's funny because just right now I busted ass. That's what G4S was called for in the past, gas, because of the 4 turning into an A. And I didn't want the general public to think that I'm a chain smoker. I mean, I smoke when I want to, but I pick up after myself. It's almost like bringing in other people that shouldn't be here. Really messed it up, and I see no choice but to just leave, and hopefully one day they realize the damage that they've done. People want to succeed in this life. Even coming back here, my sister off the back wants me to smoke weed, and it's like, no, I can't smoke weed. Just like cocaine. I've done in my life, my 37 years on earth, less than 5 times. But Having lived in Las Vegas for over 3 years, and I would just consume alcohol when I needed to. Coming back here and her insisting to eventually doing it, and you know, there's a lot of things you do where you regret, but at the same time, too, the intention of the other person. This reminds me, same thing to the uh, the King James version. Ava. I'm trying to remember exactly if it's Eve or Ava. She basically shoved the apple down Adam's throat. The man's good in nature, but it's a lot of times it's the woman's, it's the influence. But at the end of the day, it's up to you if you do it or not. So she shoves the damn apple down Adam's throat, hence the name Adam's apple, just to freaking bring him down on her level. Now, I consider us all equal, but if that's the intention, then you have to be very careful because one is mental, one is physical. Taking it back to the hunter days, gather. I'm trying to remember the proper term for back in the caveman days where hunter gatherer would go out and bring the food supply while the women raised the children and had an orgy. Just like in the Matrix, it's almost like it's the end of life as we know it, and they're raving one last day. It's almost like you wonder, what were they thinking? But you gotta take extreme ownership. You can't be blaming it on others because of her influence. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you. But if things are the way they are, it's for a reason. And attending newly built school on assignment, since I'm back at Cajun Academy, we got Sarah Trim, one of the math teachers that would tell us the equation for the root of evil. And she basically owned up to the fact that, freaking, and you think of countless wars where a woman had started this, the instigation. But I'm going to go on break real quick. I'll probably find me something to eat or just sit for a while. For the meantime, it's going to continue our last days here on the Palmer residence. And I know the energy wasn't all there, just like this cat taking 5. But at the same time, too, you got to consider the fact that, it's not as easy as you think. Like I said, most of this is just unscripted in depicting the Vancouver America experience as well as other situations regarding life-threatening situations. Like I said, God rested the Sabbath day, which is Sunday, and made sure that we were all kept alive. So with that being said, this is Alex Rubin Tolmar at your disclosure.